Hi Pritha. So today we are going to study the function generator. Okay, this is the block diagram of function generator. As I told you, function generator is a device which can generate the different types of waveforms, overall different types of frequencies. Okay, so which types of waveforms the function generator generates? There are different types of, that is sine wave, square wave, triangular wave, etc. Okay, so there are different types of waveforms which can generate by using the function generator. This is the block diagram. There are total 8 blocks in this block diagram. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth. Okay, so what is the frequency range of this function generator? It is fraction of hertz to several kilohertz. And what is the amount? Is 0.01 hertz to 100 kilohertz. Okay. Two main points are there. First one is function generator is used to generate the different types of waveforms such as sine, square, triangular, etc. And next point is what? There is a over wide range of this waveforms from fraction of hertz to several kilohertz, that is 0.01 hertz to 100 kilohertz. Without function generator there is no use of CRO, because when the function generator generates some waveform, then we will have to input. We have a input which is given to the CRO, and after that the CRO will work properly. So what is the important? Function generator. Now we can see this block diagram. First block is frequency control network. Second block is upper constant current source. Third, lower constant current source. This is integrator. This is voltage comparator multivibrator. This is resistor diode wave shaping circuit. This is amplifier 1 and amplifier 2. Okay. So first we start with the first block, which is frequency control network. This frequency control network block is used to control the frequency of waveform. Okay. What will be the waveform is generated by the function generator. The frequency of that waveform can be controlled by frequency control network. This frequency control network is connected to two blocks. Next two blocks, that is upper constant current source and lower constant current source. Okay, when we control the current, then automatically we can control the frequency. So we have to control the frequency of these two blocks by using frequency control network device. Okay, so upper constant current source, lower constant current source cannot be on at the same time. When upper constant current source is on, then lower constant current source will be off. And when lower constant current source is on, then upper constant current source will off. Okay, so how it will happen? Let's see. Upper constant current source is first on, then the capacitor will get charged. Here we can learn it from this waveform. Okay, when capacitor is going to charge, when capacitor is going to charge, but first upper constant current source will get on. This network is provide some signal to these two blocks. This circuit will get on, and when this circuit will get on, the capacitor will get start to charge. Okay, so when this point, up to this point, the capacitor it's going to charge. Okay, this waveform is given. So this is the way the capacitor will get charged. When capacitor is fully charged, this network is provide a signal. This network is provide some signal to upper constant current source block, and this block is get off. When this will off, the lower constant current source will get on. When this will on, the capacitor will get discharged. Discharge means the waveform is like this. Okay, again this procedure will continue with the same. Then the lower constant current source will get off and upper constant current source will get on. The capacitor start charging and the waveform is like this. Again upper constant current source will get off and lower constant current source will get on. The capacitor will discharge and this is like this. Okay, do you understand what happened? Upper constant current source is on, the capacitor will get charged. When capacitor will get charged fully, then it will provide some signal to upper constant current source and it will turn off. When it will turn off, the lower constant current source will get on. When lower constant current source will get on, the capacitor starts discharging. Okay, when it is completely discharged, again it will provide some signal to upper constant current source, so it will get on, it will get off. Again it will charge, fully charged, this will off. When start to discharge, this will on and this will off. Okay, after that this is the integrator. Integrator is used to form the triangular waveform. Integrator is used to generate the triangular waveform. Okay, so here the integrated voltage will be formed, which is V0 equals to minus 1 by C integration of I dt limit up to 0 to t. Okay, V0 it is output voltage. Output voltage is equals to minus 1 by C integration of 0 to t I dt. I is your current, C is your capacitor which is charging and discharging and with respect to time. Okay, so this will the output voltage at integrator device and it will form the triangular waveform. Now if we want to convert this triangular waveform into square waveform and sine waveform, then what we have to do? We have to connect again two circuits, which is voltage comparator multivibrator and second one is resistor diode wave shaping circuit. Voltage comparator multivibrator is used to convert this triangular wave into square wave. Okay, voltage comparator multivibrator is used to convert the triangular wave into square wave, and next is resistor diode wave shaping circuit is used to convert this triangular waveform into sinusoidal waveform. I again repeat, the triangular wave is now converted into square waveform and sinusoidal waveform, but how? For that we have to use voltage comparator multivibrator and second one is resistor diode wave shaping circuit. This is the wave shaping circuit. So what is the use of this? It shaped the waveform. It shaped the waveform and which shape? It is sinusoidal. So voltage comparator multivibrator circuit is used to convert the triangular waveform into square waveform, and resistor diode wave shaping circuit is used to convert the triangular waveform into sinusoidal waveform. This integrator, this is the triangular waveform, this is the square waveform, this is the sinusoidal waveform. Now we have to decide that which waveform we want. Okay, and for that we have to select this two output. If we want square waveform, then we have to on this output amplifier. This is the output amplifier 1 and this is the output amplifier 2. Then we have to switch on this output amplifier 1, then we'll get output as a square waveform. If we switched on output amplifier 2, then we have to get sinusoidal waveform, and if these both are off, then we'll get triangular waveform. Okay, what the use of this amplifier circuits? These two amplifier circuits is used to amplify the signal. Means if the waveform is of small size, then by using amplifier we can use the small waveform into the large waveform. Means we have to amplify the signal. For that we use here amplifier circuit. And output amplifier 1, output amplifier 2. This is output 1, this is output 2. If we switch on output 1, we get square waveform. If we switch on output amplifier 2, then we get sinusoidal waveform. If both of these are off, then we get triangular waveform. Okay, so this is the function generator. Now you can recall the use of this function generator. The main use is to generate the different types of waveform. Second use is to control the frequencies of generating waveforms. Okay. Third, this function generator is used to conducting the CRO, because if there is no waveform generation, then there will be no CRO working. Okay, so these are the uses of function generator. Here we complete the topic, that is function generator. Thank you.